The city of Madison, Indiana is one of the most beautiful places to be, whether you are looking at the historical town, Ohio River, or even on campus at Hanover College. Downtown Madison is always a great place to end up. Joining us today is the man who has run the show since 2019, none other than Madison Mayor Bob Courtney. So stay tuned. In the studio is coming right up.
Nice.
Welcome to In the Studio. I'm Henry Broadnax.
And I'm Brody Moore.
Today we are joined by Madison Mayor Bob Courtney. Mayor Courtney, who grew up on Walnut Street in Madison, was appointed to office in 2019 and elected in 2020. Welcome to the show, Mayor Courtney.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here. I'm excited to be your guest today.
We're super excited to have you. So, being a Madison native, could you tell us a little bit about growing up in Madison, Indiana?
Growing up in Madison has been phenomenal, and I'll be honest with you, even as a child, I appreciated the city of Madison, and what I loved about our community and growing up on Walnut Street, as you mentioned, is coming from a large family. There was just a lot of support in Madison, a lot of mentorship, and I've been very blessed to have so many across our community mentor me and help guide me to a successful career, not only in being City of Madison's mayor, but my prior career in investment banking.
So we see there are many economic and community upgrades being made in the city. For you, what are your driving factors in making Madison the best city possible?
Knowing that Madison is regionally located and ideally located on the Ohio River, but has a phenomenal history. Mm-hmm. And that history is not only was the roots of Madison, but it's been driving its future for over 200 years, and it still does today. We've embraced historic preservation. We've embraced the character and charm. We've embraced our location on the Ohio River, and those have been just natural amenities for our community to embrace and also use as the platform for economic development.
Absolutely.
So we want to congratulate you on your re-election. With that being said, what do the people of Madison have to look forward to for your next 4 years in office?
More. When I came into office in 2019, I'll never forget a question that was asked of me of one of our youngest constituents. He was probably 10 or 11 years old. And he asked, Mayor, or if you were elected mayor, what would you do for me as a young person living in our community? And I said three things. I would invest, invest, and invest. I would use my skill set in finance and accounting and investments to bring more opportunity, more economic opportunity to the community. If you look around our community, it's a beautiful community, but its needs are actually really substantial. And most of those needs can only be fulfilled when we're making the proper investment. I said I would invest in our parks department so that you have a places to go that are safe, that are beautiful, that support sports and all the benefits from sport, goal setting, discipline, accomplishment, vision. And then I said that I would also support more educational opportunities here so that everybody who's living in our community has great opportunity for growth. And that really kind of got boiled down into three core initiatives. That's public safety, and it is economic opportunity, and all of that is surrounding the power of investment, and it's placemaking, it's quality of life. People want to feel safe and enjoy the community that they live in. Employers need a well-educated workforce, and that's driven by people moving here and by population growth and by high-quality education in our community. We need to make sure that as stakeholders for our city and our county, that we're all working together to bring those things. So it's invest, invest, invest. And what people can expect for the next four more years is more investment in parks, more investment in our infrastructure, changing of how we view roads and sidewalks as not to take people away from Madison, to bring people here. This is the destination that we want people to have. And so Destination Madison has really been the driver behind all of our economic development plans.
That's what's up. Speaking of that quality of life, we've heard the anticipation about the grand reopening of the Crystal Beach Aquatic Park on May 22nd. And what went into this reopening, and why is that so important to the community?
It's extremely important for a number of reasons. We talked about quality of life. We talked about investment in infrastructure. We talked about parks and recreation. All of those things, have a historical place in Madison's history. Crystal Beach was built in 1938 38 by the WPA. It's located in the heart of our historic district and right adjacent to the Ohio River. The Ohio River has been so critical to Madison's formation, Madison's prosperity, Madison's continued quality of life and being a place to live. However, infrastructure has a useful life. And after 80 years, unfortunately, it was time to say goodbye to the old swimming pool, and then we had to put into plans immediate action on what we were going to do. Many communities fear facing the daunting task like a Crystal Beach, and many of them close their swimming pools because they can't afford them. They may not add value to that particular amenity in the community. But they don't have a historic district that is unparalleled like the city of Madison's. We knew, and the hardest call I made as being mayor was declaring that structure unsafe and closing the pool. And for the last 2 years, we've been working nonstop to bring a new modern aquatic park that fulfills the historical integrity of the pool, its place along the Ohio River and in the historic district, but also an amenity that is so close and near and dear to the hearts of people who are from here and the affinity that they have for that place. We knew it was one of the most important things that we could do. So we immediately started working on designing and funding the new swimming pool. And here it is on May 22nd. We'll have the ribbon cutting. It'll open on Sunday, May 26th. And I couldn't be more proud of my community that is bringing this to fruition, because the easy thing would have been to say, it's too hard, we can't do it. Right. We didn't do that. We leaned into it, just like everything else you need to do in life. We leaned into it and we brought solutions to a problem.
Absolutely. And speaking of safety, I know that you assembled an elite task force to address crimes against children and drug-related offenses, and have so far arrested over 24 child sex offenders and reduced drug-related crimes by 21%. What other initiatives are you taking to ensure the safety of the city of Madison?
That is a constant, I'll coin it as an opportunity for us, because it is hard. Even the city of Madison, we're open 24/7. The city never sleeps when it comes to public safety. But public safety also involves making sure our sidewalks are passable, that we eliminate trip hazards, that we have a competent and effective detective force who are investigating the crimes, drug-related crimes or crimes against children, that we have a traffic division that is trying to get people to slow down. We have accidents and unfortunately a lot of dangerous intersections because of distracted driving, because of speeding. So we're addressing how do we make our corridors safer through better design as we are addressing our road and sidewalk issues. It's a constant thing. We also are very active in the community by encouraging neighborhood watch groups. More people, more eyes, more ears, people alerting us of problems, and that engagement that we're having between our police department and the community is really critical. But the other thing that we're doing too that we don't talk about a lot in the context of public safety is we have a phenomenal fire department. We have one of the country's oldest active all volunteer fire departments, and they are professional, they are well trained, they're volunteers. We have a phenomenal command staff. Because of how well organized our volunteer fire department is, we pass along savings to our community through the form of lower insurance costs. So public safety takes on a whole, context of issues. We're moving into a new generation of public safety too, and that is to address mental health and substance use disorders in a more effective way than ever before. So we're exploring new options there. I'm the president of the Indiana Conference of Mayors, so we're always exchanging ideas with those communities on best practices. We're working with other partners. These public-private partnerships are really critical to the success of Madison and Jefferson County. We're entering into a partnership with the Jefferson County Commissioners, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, to bring something that's near and dear to me that I've been working on for 4 years, and that is a chemical addiction program inside the jail to help those who have been there on a drug-related offense learn different behaviors, learn how to manage their substance use disorders, get the counseling that they need, reunite with their families and their children. It's all important in breaking that cycle of addiction. So we're bringing on whole new ways and meaning of public safety.
That's what's up. We appreciate your dedication to to keeping Madison a safe city. And we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we will talk with Mayor Courtney about the relationship between the cities of Hanover and Madison.
Close your eyes, only got one night. Just put your trust in me. Give me everything. I need your love tonight. So baby, please don't fight it. Put your trust in me. I'll give you everything. So hold on.
Welcome back to In the Studio. We are joined with Madison native Mayor Courtney talking about all things Madison. So Mayor Courtney, with Madison and Hanover only being minutes away, could you tell us about the relationship between the two cities?
It is critical and very positive and constructive. I have a lot of respect for the Hanover Town Council. We work frequently on projects. I'll give you an example where we're members of the 911 Advisory Board, where Madison, Jefferson County, and the town of Hanover, we collaborate together on our public safety initiatives. We manage a central dispatch operation, for example, that is operating 24/7, and they're literally the lifeline, between someone who's encountering an emergency of any sort and the first responders. That's just one example of how we work together. We work together on economic development initiatives. There's a thing called an interlocal agreement, where units of government partner together formally, and then also not only are we helping manage an initiative and determine priorities, but we are also co-funding those initiatives. So we're working together in many, many ways. Another example that I think is going to be phenomenal is the Hanover-Madison Connector Trail. That was one of our economic development priorities that we're working on collaboratively with Hanover College, the town of Hanover, Jefferson County, and the city of Madison. And it will connect downtown Madison in the first phase to Clifty Falls State Park, and then the second phase from Clifty Falls State Park to the town of Hanover and Hanover College. So there's numerous things that we're frequently working together on, like the animal shelter, 911, economic development initiatives, educational initiatives, health and wellness. So very proud of my relationship with the town of Hanover and Hanover College.
Yeah, that's great.
So with us being students at Hanover, we understand the importance of Madison, with it being the closest large city. What are some of the things that Madison could offer to the students at Hanover College?
A lot of recreational opportunities. We are literally just a few miles away, and we have one of the most beautiful riverfronts in the entire country. And in fact, I call it our $1 billion riverfront because it's over 1.5 miles long. It will include the trailhead for the Heritage Trail, 1.5 mile boardwalk, a super overlook that'll get you closer to the experience of the river. It'll include the aquatic park, baseball parks, basketball courts. We've just renovated Crystal Beach's entire campus, which also included the basketball court. The Brown Gym frequently hosts basketball, pickleball, walking. We've got a dog park down there. And as you go further east, more park and recreational opportunities. So great things there. We have the trolley service that I know has been working between Hanover College and the city of Madison to give transportation to and from the locations. We have lots of different events and networking opportunities. We have fantastic Visit Madison organization, Madison Main Street, the Jefferson County Board of Tourism, lots of organizations and opportunities to get to know each other a lot better. And it's a very welcoming and inclusive community with lots of different events, music festivals, art shows. I could go on and on and on. And if you looked at City of Madison's Visit Madison tour guide, you'll probably see, particularly now that we're in the tourism season, something going on every weekend for people of all ages, all abilities, and all interests to enjoy. So I'm really proud of what our community has to offer, which I think is unique given the size of our community. But Hanover College, Ivy Tech students that go there, there's lots to see and do all across the city of Madison, not just downtown, but we just invested in a multi-use development on the hilltop called the Shops at Sunrise Crossing. So now we have 4 national retailers in there, 3 more soon to open, and then new apartments that are going to be built up there. So the connectivity, I think, is extremely important, and there's lots to see and do. So hopefully you guys get a chance to experience it if you haven't already.
Yes, sir.
And a great nightlife. We have a great nightlife in downtown Madison.
Yeah.
So even though the close to 1,000 students thoroughly use Madison for dining, shopping, and entertainment, like you said, how are the students of Hanover thought about when making decisions for the city?
They're brought in. In fact, several of our interns have been Hanover College students or graduates. Our assistant planner, who just joined the city of Madison, is a Hanover College graduate. So the decision of what we do and what type of community we want to be needs to have the voices of young people. I'm really proud as the mayor of Madison to probably boast that we have more young people working for the city now than ever before. And that's because we are stepping out and knowing what role young people have in the vibrancy of our community. So your voices are important to us. And if you see there's an area where there's a gap, please let me know. But and there's also a lot of volunteer opportunities between Madison and Hanover College to participate in, because we do want to be a clean, safe, and beautiful community. And the only way to do that is to have large levels of engagement from all over the community. And I think we have that, but we're constantly striving to improve.
Awesome.
That's great. So I know you already mentioned some things to do downtown and in the city of Madison, but being an out-of-state student here with family that often comes up to visit, what would some recommendations be for that family and family-inclusive things for them to maximize their experience in Madison?
Depending on when they come, but we have lots of festival weekends, for example, that provide a lot of extracurricular things for them to do when they're not on campus with you guys. And so definitely check out our Visit Madison schedule.
Yep.
We have the museums that are phenomenal. We have a fantastic historical society. We have a beautiful historic community that people love to walk around and enjoy. And we have a live music scene, and the shopping and the dining. So I would say as you're developing the itinerary, visit Madison's headquarters down on, I believe it's Elm and First Streets, and right across from Linear Mansion, and you'll see a whole laundry list of things to do.
Awesome. Before we end, is there anything that you would like to talk about we haven't covered already?
Just the fact that what you see now, and over the course of the last 4 or 5 years, I want to give a shout out to all my predecessors, because I hope that I'm being a good steward of the city at the time I'm in office, and I'll be in office for my term ends in 2027. I've surrounded myself with very talented people who are dedicated to the city of Madison and Jefferson County and make it the best that it can be. But we're also benefiting from years of comprehensive planning and foundation that's being laid by my predecessor and other office holders and the other people who give so graciously of their time on a volunteer basis. Crystal Beach is a prime example. If our forefathers hadn't invested in Madison and built Crystal Beach in 1938, we would not be talking about Crystal Beach today. Right. Yeah. If our forefathers, hadn't developed the volunteer fire department 175 years ago, we'd probably have a very different presence of fire departments. If we hadn't focused on historic preservation, a lot of our 19th century structures would have been lost. So, every community has building blocks. Life has building blocks. I'm grateful to be in a position that I am, to be elected and entrusted. We also have a vision of where we want Madison and our community to be 20 years, 25 years from now. And just like we were talking about earlier about athletics, I'm carrying the baton for this lap. And I'll hand off that baton to somebody that hopefully will continue on with the successful trend of making Madison just a beautiful community that is welcoming to all, that is growing, that's prospering, and then is the highest quality of life that's unparalleled anywhere in the United States. So what I would like to just say there is that it's just one of gratitude of all those that have come before me, all those who will be after me, but especially my teammates and the members of our community who are all rowing in the same direction right now to make Madison, Hanover, Jefferson County the best it can be, because it doesn't happen alone. It happens with someone with common purpose. Let me end it with this too. I just came back from Birmingham, Alabama, where we were awarded the Great American Main Street Award. We're really, really proud of that. But I just want to mention something that I read while I was down there, and it was from John Lewis, who was a representative member who passed away about 4 years ago, but was also very active in the civil rights movement. And he basically said, when a community has purpose and love, you can make the impossible possible. And that resonated with me because that is what we're constantly doing in our communities, is taking these challenges and turning them into opportunities. And the only way to do that is by collaborating, working together, and also having a vision and the data to get you there. That quote from John Lewis really resonated with me because that's really what we're all about, which is building a better community. So thank you guys for having me here.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Mayor Courtney, we really appreciate you, taking your time out of your day and to talk with us, and we're excited to see how the city grows throughout the rest of your term, and we wish you the best of luck.
Absolutely.
I'm Brody Moore.
And I'm Henry Broadnax.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of In the Studio. We'll see you on the next time.